You already know it is that time of the week. Rent a Girlfriend chapter 246 review discussion thing. You're never gonna decide which one is better because I can just throw both the title and it works. This chapter starts off with Kazuya and Chizuru walking off to her childhood home. They're just kind of talking, making small talk. I don't feel the need to go over this information. It's kind of like they're on a date, but without the date part. They're like friends hanging out, and I think Kazuya does mention later in this chapter he kind of feels because Chizuru invited him into her childhood home. It kind of feels as if they were childhood friends, which they aren't. But that's the point I was trying to make. Anyways, they arrive. Boy, Kazuya's on another thing this chapter. This man is like a mega pervert. He just can't stop staring at that ass and imagining wild situations. Like, I don't blame him about staring at that ass every once in a while, especially when she bends over in a few pages, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Chizuru mentions that they want to go through the back and not the front. No real reason other than, I don't know, she just mentioned it. They go through the back. Her door is like stuck and not wanting to actually like open, and so she kind of brute forces it open, like she's done this a million times. How she talks to the door because it won't open, like, you're being a piece of shit today, huh? Oh, don't worry, I've come prepared. Crack a few knuckles, crack the neck, and then go in it. They enter from the back where the kitchen is. Kazuya looks around, notices the place is fucking ancient. He sees a washing machine. He's like, what the fuck? That shit's older than fucking dirt. Chizuru shows him around the house. And Kazuya mentions just how ancient the place fucking looks. They enter a tatami room. I do not know what a tatami room is. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly. It's something Japanese related. I don't know exactly what a tatami room is, but I'm going to go off like context clues and say it's the room where past family members' ashes are kept, like in their urn, and they have like a memorial like setup. That's just my guess. I do not know for sure though. Kazuya notices a fuck ton of rocks, and he's just like, "What the fuck are the rocks doing in this room?" So then he he confidently asks, "Rocks?" Chizuru mentions that her grandpa, when he traveled for his work, that each time he went somewhere, he'd pick up a rock from there and bring it home as a sign of his journey and from every place he's been to from working. He's like a delivery driver of like some kind. It's not too explained unless it was explained in a previous chapter. Chizuru mentions about her grandpa's collection of rocks, and she wants to move them outside before she calls the movers to move them. Kazuya mentions that they might have sentimental value, so he's like, but like, is it okay to like, just put them outside? And Chizuru's like, yeah, what the fuck am I supposed to do with, I don't know, a shit ton of fucking rocks? Kazuya's like, oh, that makes sense. They get started, and Chizuru bends over to pick up a rock, and Kazuya's like, fat, and I ain't blaming the man. What is you doing? And then he's like, I can't be gazing at her, bro. Her ancestors are watching me gaze at her ass. And I mean, that's true. It's pretty fucking weird, but she's got a dump truck on her, okay? Kazuya then mentions the childhood friend line about the situation is, she invited him to her childhood home to just help out. Kazuya then imagines that like he gets on top of Chizuru and like they're like, they get kind of sexy because they're both alone in the home, and Chizuru fucking, oh my god, this line, embrace me and all the history of this place. Kazuya, you've grown up. Like, bro, what the fuck? Like I said, Kazuya's on another level. Also, Chizuru is wearing a mask because the dust accumulates and it helps with the dust. Kazuya like forces himself to think straight. Chizuru mentions, what the fuck's got you spacing out, being a fucking weirdo? Kazuya then like is like walking a rock out of the home to the outside. He sees the bathroom. He kind of like, damn, this shit looks fucking like ancient history. And then he imagines Chizuru used to live here, and then he's like, back in high school, Chizuru's like, I need to keep myself clean, and she's like washing herself in the fucking shower, and Kazuya's like, He's getting a little frisky. Then he drops a rock on his foot, and he's a dumbass. Anyways, we cut to nighttime. They've cleaned up the place pretty nicely, and Kazuya is like, isn't this simply hard fucking labor because they've been lifting fucking rocks for hours on end? Kazuya's exhausted, and he's like, what the fuck's up with all these fucking rocks? Like, why? As soon as you fucking die, your family's gonna have to pick up after you. He starts thinking about, like, Chizuru, and, like, is like, this is so fucking worth it. And then he asks, will the day come when I melt this Iron Lady's heart? He mentions that he's got to improve his stock. He's got to show that he is a man, and he can, oh man, look at him. He's collected 32 rocks, 22 assists, and 5 drops. So, he's putting a pretty good stat line of rocks collected, and he needs to improve that. Anyways, he goes to pick up a massive fucking rock, and Chizuru, like, walks by holding, I don't know what she's holding, and she sees him. She gets a flashback with her grandpa, his crazy ass, bringing this massive fucking rock. This is a flashback, and it's about, I don't really know, about high school or so. And he's bringing this fucking rock in, and he's like, man, this shit was 20 hours and 20 minutes away. Oh, gah. Got it fucking, or 20 minutes and all the way back, and all the way there and all the way back, right? So it's fucking a 10-hour and 10-minute fucking drive. Jesus Christ. He brings it back, and he's like, yeah, sir. Chizuru mentions that, he's not young anymore. He can't be doing this. And he's like, I'm like a hero or something, because what if somebody is stranded in the end of the earth, and he needs to help him in the dark of the night? They mentioned, the text here says, if it's for someone in need, the strength just finds a way. I don't know if that's Chizuru thinking that, or that's like narration, or if it's like a quote that her grandpa said. Chizuru watches Kazuya struggle to pick up the rock. Then Kazuya notices her grandpa's shrine. He sees a picture of her grandpa, and then he sees another picture of a younger girl, and then he says, this must be, and chapter ends. It looks like a young Chizuru, maybe early high school. And that's the chapter. Nothing else, I guess, I need to say. That's this week. My name is Logo1. I hope you enjoyed the video. So likes, comment, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. Peace.